Good morning, everyone.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
I don't know. I feel like I've already done a whole day by 11 o'clock. Anybody else feel like that?
Jen's like 2 hands. Yes, 2 days.
Jenny, we're representing, you clearly got the St. Patty's Day memo.
I was about to say, she went hard for St. Patrick's right there.
I have a child
the most green thing I own.
I have a child that I should show you what the leprechaun trap that's multiple boxes with tunnels and all of this that she built. And so we were up quite late having to have our leprechaun run amok in our house. It's a whole thing over here. It's a whole thing.
Impressive. That is
impressive. I was saying, I was that person who showed up today and the team was like, it's St. Patrick's Day. We'll help you out. And I got one of these and I was like, that's when you know you got good people in your world.
For sure.
All right, we're going to let people in. Welcome, welcome, welcome. If you guys are able to turn on your camera today, we would love, love, love it. We'll get started here in a second. Tammy, it's so good to see you. Darcy's rocking in. Darn Darcy.
Oh my goodness, that picture's too cute.
Kristen, are you in the next room? Can you literally hear me in multiple ways? She's on the back side of this very thin wall. She might as well just be sitting in the room with me, probably.
Can you hear me?
I can.
I am driving, so I don't have that whole double sound thing going on this time.
Okay, perfect. Well, at least you're not on a tall ladder somewhere.
You're never living that down, Chris.
On the tippity top of a tall ladder somewhere. Yes.
All right, Katie, are you ready to get started? We're gonna go. My Heidi is chomping at the bit to introduce these awesome people. So you guys, we just want to take a second and kind of recast why today looks a little different than some of the other Path to Millions that we've experienced as we've kind of developed this. And based on feedback from you guys as our top agents over the last year, we kept getting this conversation of hey, we would love to be able to interact more with each other. And the second thing is we want to hear not only from the people that are Chris and Ben and Via, they're amazing, but also get to know some of the other MREAs and people grossing and netting $1 million right here in the Northwest. So over the course of 2022, we've kind of restructured this, and you're going to get a combination of the Chris's and Ben's and big business players, as well as some candid interviews with some of our top people from across the region. And then today we're also going to be doing some actual live breakouts to discuss 2 of the biggest topics that we keep coming to the surface in your production group. So does that sound good? Is that good buy-in and a good plan, y'all? Awesome.
Yeah.
If it doesn't, that is what we're going to do today. So strap in. Let's do this thing. For those of you guys in the Experience Brokerage Network, you know, of course, who I am. And for those of you and Ben Kinney-Co's or guests on the call, I'm Leslie Hilbert. I'm the general manager of Experience Brokerage Network here in Oregon. So a great way to look at that is the VIA of our network. So VIA is in the Game of Thrones mentality, the GM in the North, and I am the GM in the South. So I get the pleasure of doing the interview today for one of our incredible people. So I am going to welcome our MREA guests, Miss Taya and Bryan Mower.
Hello. Very honored to be here.
So I could go on and on. I've had the pleasure of working with you guys for years and years. So I just want to kind of set the stage so that those of you on the call that maybe haven't had Taya and Bryan in your market center, let's just start with a little bit about you and your business and put us into the frame of mind of 2021. What was your production units, volumes, GCI?
Absolutely.
I'll take that one. So 2021, it was down from 2020 by 40 units, but it was still a successful year. We closed 142 units. We were very listing heavy. Part of that is the new construction division. We had 91 listings and 51 buyer closings. Total GCI was 1.8 million. Volume was just over 85 million.
And even though it was down from 2020, I'll tell you, we were really proud of that year because we had a lot of team members and a lot of personal things that went on, just like everyone, you know, as last couple of years have been really tough on folks personally. And so we were able to support our team, and our team was able to support us while we went through some pretty critical things, and still came out with some numbers and some togetherness, I would say, that we're proud of.
So let's just go there for a second before we circle back to those production numbers, which are incredible, especially that list to buy ratio. Tell us a little bit about your team. You went there, take us there. What does your team look like to do 142 units?
It's constantly evolving. So in all transparency, the last couple of years, there has been a lot of evolution. So we vacillate between 12 team members and 8 team members. That is always just like our window. So today we're at 8 team members. For half of 2020, we were at 11 team members. And we are currently 3 administrative team. Of course, everyone is licensed. We have 3 administrative team, a director of ops, a marketing, and a listing coordinator. Right now we are transitioning a transaction manager role and duties and kind of working out some different things there. And then we have 5 sales, including Brian and I, who very much are heavily in the production side of things. And yeah, that's about it. Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna go a little deeper on those numbers to break them down. So 5 sales agents doing the 142, the 2 of you are included in that. How much of that production was you guys doing the production versus your team?
Massive.
I did not prepare you for that.
That's our area of opportunity, Leslie. Thanks. So it's true, though, that has definitely been at the forefront of our conversations, and our vision is to bring up the rest of the team to a production level that will help get us more balance. And a lot of that is skewed because of our new construction. You know, I technically run the new construction division. So out of those 5, we have 2.5 that are new construction, and then we have 2.5 that are resale.
Okay. So tell us about the area you serve, right? Like we've got people on here from Oregon, across Oregon, as well as Washington. So what is your service area?
So we do primarily west side. We don't market to the east side, but we absolutely will serve people on the east side of Portland. So we'll go, I mean, we're not part of the coastal MLS. We're not part of the WV MLS, but I think that's going to change here pretty quickly. We are on the Central Oregon MLS, and so we can dip down into your Central Oregon.
Okay, so for people that are coming in for Washington, so your primary focus for your business, especially that new construction business, is west side of Portland Metro.
Absolutely.
Okay. Competitive market?
You know, yeah, very, very competitive.
So I think we're sitting at what, 0.6 months of inventory there. So
yep. Feeling the burn. Yeah.
Okay, so our first, kind of our first topic today, which we are going to lead into your first mastermind as well, is we're going to circle back to this conversation of listings and finding and developing inventory and a low inventory market, and how you guys have gone about doing that. And for those of you that were either at family reunion or watched it virtually, we all got to see Gary Keller stand on stage and say something that is now on a t-shirt. It's also a song. What is that?
Buy dirt.
buy dirt, right? Buy dirt. So this has been a conversation that has been emerging of like, okay, how do I go about doing that? What are my options, my opportunities? What does a business model look like around developing inventory in this world of new construction? So we're going to go there because you guys have a little different take on this development of new inventory, right?
Absolutely.
Okay.
So there are people in our market center who really specialize at finding dirt, right? And helping builders develop that and get it up to listings that they can then sell. Our experience with new construction is a little bit different. We service one client, and that one client has been absolutely amazing. We feel very blessed. The difference in our approach is that they were a part of our circle. They were a part of our sphere. And so we ended up touching them and not being a secret agent, right? And knowing that we service a lot of the listings and do a lot of business in the areas that they offer homes in. You know, we had our signs out, everything, and they saw us on social. They received all of our sphere touches, our invitations to our parties. They saw our signs. And so although we had a previous relationship with them, we were off the grid for about 3 years before this opportunity arose. And because of all of those touches and us having some of that mind share, we got to interview for the job. And thankfully, we won the interviews.
So I'm gonna kind of lay that out for people, because I think there was some really important details in there that I want them to hear, right? Like, because even within this world of new construction, like we have people whose superpower is in the land development aspect of it. And really what you guys said is our superpower is in the relational aspect of new construction. So and so that's like the first aha, right? Like there's more than one way that we can approach like developing inventory in a residential way. And being a land developer may not be the superpower, but you started that relationship. You didn't just show up one day and become the realtor of choice for them. So take us back and say, how did you develop that niche, that relationship? What did that start like at the very beginning of your journey?
I actually worked with them. So they got to see me grow from an unlicensed assistant up to one of their last agents before they kind of shut down their residential side and took a hiatus. They didn't shut down completely. They offered us the opportunity to do business under their real estate office. And at that point, I knew that we wanted to start building a legacy, and we really wanted to grow our business as a business. And that's when we joined KW. And so following all the KW recommendations and models, right, we just went about our business growing it the way that we wanted to. And that's through relationships and repeat and referral business. And, we went to some events that we knew that they would be at. We really focused on the things that we were most comfortable with, opposed to trying to put ourselves out there and learn a completely different field and take the land approach. We just went full bore on the areas and the things that were most comfortable for us. So yeah.
So what I'm hearing you say is it started with a relationship or a connection, right? Mm-hmm. And then you really treated them just like any other customer. They essentially became the customer, right?
Absolutely.
And you put a system in place to maintain a relationship as you earned the business. Is that?
Absolutely. And I think the big difference is that I think a lot of times in those situations, people look at just the principles of that builder. Well, we were reaching out to every single person in that office. And so we had mind share of everyone in that office, opposed to just the ones that were at the top making the decision. And they got to see our business grow. They got to hear what we are doing. They got to see our signs. And when it came time of the interview, you know, they knew work ethic, but then we were able to add the fact that we were doing it on our own. We were doing it in a different field, you know, on the resale side. And we had a team set up that could support what they were looking to accomplish. So interestingly, we both kind of grew all at the same time.
I remember those days. My wife created raving fans and cheerleaders in the office when she talks about not just the decision makers. She was amazing. Every time she'd show up, she'd walk around and say hi to people. She'd send client event invitations, pie day, all the different things that we do. And it's not just that, but it's product knowledge, right? Having worked with that developer in the past, you know, in building homes and townhomes, she knew the product front and back. And high moral integrity. There was a lot of different pieces that came together, but I heard from 2 different employees that said, this is years ago, I was rooting for you so much. I was telling them that they have to hire Taya to be their representative. And if they don't, I'm leaving. Right. So yeah, she's pretty amazing.
You're amazing too.
That is incredible. And then how many years ago was that, Taya, that you guys first, like, you earned the right to be their realtor of choice? How many years have you been in that role? 5 years. Because that leads us to the next question, right? Is right now, new construction is a competitive environment, right? Like, they could wake up tomorrow, any day, and make a different decision, and the way that they operate, the sale of that product and who they choose to work with. So how do you continue to ensure that you are the realtor and the relationship of choice that gets to represent their product?
I think just being true to who we are inherently, right? They know that we are loyal. We know that we will always put their best interest. We believe in driving the best product and services that we are able to, and that trickles down to every member of the team that they have interactions with. And even still, they are all treated as our sphere contacts. They get invited to every party. We deliver pies to their doorstep. You know, it's all of those things that we still do for them. In addition to that, we're staying ahead of the market, right? We're constantly coming to them with market data. What are other people doing? What do we recommend that you do? Oh, don't do that. You know, we've had some pretty tough conversations with them as well about, nope, you don't want to do that. This is going to tarnish your reputation, even though everyone else is doing it. You know, be the difference here. So it's really that consultative relationship that they know just is based on care and keeping their best interest at heart at all times.
I love that. So you're really like their consultant, their advisor. They're really, you're almost that bridge between them and the real estate industry, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Now,
and it was really interesting in the beginning, and I think this is what a lot of people don't realize with new construction is you work for free for a really long time before you get that first paycheck. And even though I wasn't getting a paycheck, I was like a full-time employee for probably a year before we received our first paycheck, right? And I don't think that they ever in a million years felt that they weren't my highest priority. Even at that point in time, we weren't paying the bills with those efforts.
I think that's great perspective, right? Like this was a long-term investment for you guys. And there was something that you said the other day that really resonated with me. And that is that you feel like you're interviewing for the job every single day.
I interview for the job of being my husband's wife every single day, right? I mean, so it's just like every single relationship out there. I know at any point in time, they may find another realtor. At any point in time, they could take their business in-house and have an in-house real estate team. I know that they may sell their home sites. And I'm going to make the best of today. And I'm going to work diligently and ensure that they know that they're the top of my priority list every single day because I'm interviewing for that job. And I'm going to move forward in the hopes that we can maintain this relationship. I'm going to feel like I have done everything that I could, just like we do with every single one of our individual sellers, and just move forward in good faith, right?
So I know some people are probably thinking this. I think it's really important. And we kind of talked about this too, right? With one primary builder relationship, how does that impact your goal setting and your growth trajectory? And then how do you really ensure that you stay diversified, or do you?
Absolutely. So one of the things that because we know the volatility of new construction and how quickly things can change on a dime, it was really critical to us that we went in with the intention that our resale business would match our new construction business. So we have really struggled. We have focused on keeping our business 50-50, right? But because there's a lot more fluidity on our resale side in terms of team members and those types of things, we have certainly struggled, and there have been some areas of opportunity there. But to give you an idea, just in 2021, I think hold on, I wrote it down. Our new construction was 58% of our total business versus 42. So if there's a 5 there, I feel pretty good, even though it's really getting close to that 60%. Obviously, from our listing standpoint, we lost a really critical lead listing agent at the end of 2020. And so 2021, we didn't have her, and our listing business has suffered because of it. But even still, we were able to keep our buyer business up high enough to where we feel pretty comfortable at that 50-50.
So really staying diversified and keeping your core of that resale business, which is the relational business as well.
Right, absolutely. And I'll tell you, we have had opportunities to serve other builders. We have had opportunities put in front of us and explored those opportunities and have chosen not to move forward with those. So we choose our clients in the same fashion, in new construction, in the same fashion that we do for, every individual client that we have, which can be pretty terrifying, when you're saying, I'm not going to take this project, because I know that would serve our growth and trajectory, but who we are and what we stand for and how we want to enjoy and engage in our business, we choose.
Speaking of choosing, I can see the same concept of values, culture is showing up in your team, right? Just like your retention of your clients, the retention of this builder. Let's talk about how that has translated to your team. You're 8 members strong right now, 3 success members. Tell us a little bit about the longevity of your team members.
Yes, so we feel very blessed. We have our 3 admin team have been with us 7 years, 3 years, and 2 years. Is that right? Mm-hmm. Yes, 7 years, 3 years, and 2 years. A lot of that, and one of those, we outsourced to Emily Schatz, who was our first hire, right? We were her first experience in the business, and we still work with her on the transaction management side. So in a way, we still feel like we have her in our little repertoire, if you will. But that, I think, a lot has been, I'm so sorry. Can you speak to this a second? Nope, not that. I'm so sorry. I have some things happening. I'll call them back. Totally lost train of thought. Longevity. On our sales team, sorry about that, guys. On our sales team, we have 5 years, 2 years, and not yet a year.
And we do have a VA. We've been using for a little over a year that assists.
Almost 2 years.
2 years. Yeah, that assists with a lot of the back end stuff.
Yeah. And I think that just goes to show you, we just recently lost a 3-year tenured sales agent. Last year, we lost a 2.5-year tenured sales agent. So I'd say our big area of opportunity is on that side, which we are exploring and covering. If anybody has any tips, give me a jingle. Let's have coffee or wine. Could really use some help there. But I think a lot of it, even through the downturn of, I'd say downturn, COVID, right? The pandemic, we had to change on a dime, and we were, really struggling with how to respect everybody's comfort while maintaining culture. And we went virtual online. We did a lot of virtual events. We have meetings every single day. And I think that really helped. We still did our birthday celebrations and our drop-bys with fun gifts and those types of things. Excited to get back in it though.
Yeah, I mean, if you guys have won the Team Culture Award so many times in our organization here at Sunset.
Nice job, Darcy. Shout out to you for 2021. Whoop, whoop.
Right.
Well deserved.
Tell us about how you're identifying, because we really talked about your success team. That support team is traditionally been with you a very, very long time. And that's about hiring for culture. So tell us a little bit about how you approach that and make sure you're keeping culture at the forefront of building your team.
For one, it's the vetting process up front. We have some pretty, we don't rush to hire. Sometimes I wish we went faster, I'm not gonna lie. So we go through an extensive vetting process. Everybody on our team also gets to meet them typically before they're hired. And so we are looking for a lot of those qualities. Integrity is a non-negotiable. So when we're doing reference checks and things like that, we're keeping those at the forefront as well. When they come on, we do a celebratory, they get a packet of our swag or a gift of all of our swag, and they get a book that explains who we all are. We all do these personality assessments. And so everybody can see a bird's eye view of our team and what the different personalities are. We ask them to reach out to every single team member individually and go have coffee or learn more, just not about their role, but about who they are. And I think that our daily meetings have really helped keep that culture together as well. I'd say those are do you have anything to add to that?
It's definitely suffered the last 2 years, no doubt. And I'm sure that's the case with a lot of people on this call. It'd be nice when this pandemic, which hopefully we're at the end of it now, it'll come back in waves, but getting back in the office more consistently is critical.
So what does that look like, right? Because you guys were the ones who would show up in lumberjack outfits, and like your Christmas cards were like in your pajamas, right? Like you had such, like it was every season we had like a new fun photo of you.
Yeah.
So that changed significantly, and we implemented daily meetings. But what does it look like now that we're moving forward? Do you see yourself implementing some of the culture that we had of 2 years ago, or do you see some changes into your culture as you bring everybody back to a centralized location?
I think the nice thing is that, well, I don't know if you want to call it nice, but we went from one extreme, then to the other extreme. And now that we've seen both sides of it, our vision moving forward is that there's more of a combination of that. In the lumberjack days, we would get together for these really fun things, and then everybody dispersed like cats, right? Everybody went their own direction, and we would just come back once, when you had these moments. Whereas during the last 2 years, it's every single day we're in each other's face virtually. And so having the ability to combine both of those, I think, is really where we're going to see the greatest success.
Awesome. I love that. Well, we're excited to have the team back. More lumberjack outfits.
Yes.
Pajama
Coming
photos.
soon to a KWSC near you. Yes.
Oh my. All right, you guys, I would love, would you guys mind putting, or Katie, maybe you can help. Can we put their contact information in the feed? I know I want to be respectful of you guys, but let's open it up. Would you be willing to take a question or two, Taya Bryan, or do you need to run off?
Absolutely. I got like 9 minutes.
Any thoughts or questions, you guys?
Or advice. We're open to advice too. Yes.
My gosh.
I'm just gonna go ahead and give the admiration, like you guys are awesome. I love how willing you are to share your ups and downs. So many of these powerhouse teams are like, oh my gosh, everything's amazing. This is great. We do well all the time. Like, thank you for being real and open. And like, these are my great things. These are the things I'm struggling with. It's awesome. And you guys are people that we look up to. So thank you.
Ditto. Thanks, babe.
Hey, hi, this is Paul. I'm up in the Kirkland area.
Hi, Paul.
Hey guys, thanks for your time and sharing and candidness. Builders are their own breed of human.
Yes, they are.
Just curious how you guys handle, they are. How you guys handle the marketing and fulfillment of that? Do you guys pay for it?
Great
Do you have the
question.
builder pay for it? How does that work?
That's a really great question. So we have an in-house marketing director, and she has actually been really critical in us being able to provide a high level of service from the marketing standpoint. So builder pays for it. However, she is able to assist in putting together a lot of the materials. We come up with the ideas and the touches and the marketing and everything like that. We create it. And then depending on what it is, the builder will pay for it, or, you know, we will. If it's like a Facebook ad and we're running something like that, we pay for it. If it is signs, they typically pay for it.
Awesome. Thank you.
You're welcome.